Hi there, my name is Tim Shaxson, I'm from DiGiCo. I'm here at Infocom 2010 to give you a very brief overview of our new console, the entry-level SD-9. We introduced this at Frankfurt recently. It's proven to be phenomenally popular. The heart of the desk includes the FPGA-based processing which we introduced with the SD-7 2.5 years ago. The audio quality is phenomenal, has exactly the same sound quality as our SD-7 and our SD-8. And the reason being because we're using this FPGA's processing, and also we're using exactly the same mic preamps we used in the SD-8 and the SD-9, sorry, the SD-7. So an SD-9 system comprises of the following components. You've got the surface, obviously, and the surface comprises of a big 15-inch touch screen, 24 100mm touch faders, and an array of controls around the surface. We use a remote stage rack called a D-rack, which has 32 inputs and 8 outputs as standard. You can expand the number of outputs by adding an additional 8-channel analog output card or an 8-channel AES output card, which means the rack itself could then be 32 in, 16 out. We connect to the surface via a 75-meter Cat5 cable, which is included in the package, and you can add an additional D-rack if you wanted to, giving you 64 ins, 32 outs. So a massive number of inputs and outputs on a desk of this size. Okay, so we have a main and alternate input on our mono channels. It's very easy to switch between them. It's a single button push on the surface. And what it means is that you no longer need a spare channel anymore. What we need is a spare microphone plugged into a spare socket, and if your main microphone fails, it's just a question of hitting the alternate button. So we've got 40 flexi inputs. We've also got 16 flexi outputs, flexi buses. So that's a combination of auxiliaries and subgroups. And again, they can be mono or stereo. So if you're doing a monitor gig, you could potentially have the desk set up with 16 stereo in-ear mixes, or 16 mono wedge mixes, or combination of both. We've also got an 8x8 matrix. We have 8 VCAs on this desk as well. And in terms of processing on the desk, we have a phenomenal amount of processing. It's the same processing that we introduced in the SD-7, our flagship console. So we can have up to 4 instances of dynamic EQ on every single channel. I'll just demonstrate it here. If I select a channel, there's my 4 bands of standard parametric EQ, and I can then open up some dynamic EQ as well. And 4 inputs or 4 outputs could have that dynamic EQ applied to them. And we can also apply multi-band compression, again up to 4 instances of it. In terms of effects, we have 4 onboard effects processors, and we've also got 16 graphic EQs. Talking about effects, we also support the new Waves sound grid plugins. Obviously Waves as a company do some of the industry standard leading plugins, and we will be able to use shortly their plugins on this desk with some additional hardware. You will have up to 8 instances, 8 stereo racks of Waves plugins, and each one of those 8 racks will be able to have 8 individual plugins running simultaneously. So that's 64 Waves plugins you'll be able to run on this surface. So there you have it. That's the DiGiCo SD-9. It's a console we're very proud of. It's, as I said, it's going to have phenomenal sound quality. There's a great feature set. If you want more information, please have a look at our website, which is www.digico.biz, or have a look at our US distributor's website, Group 1. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed it.